Ma'am, let us know what's your best tip for non-marathon lovers like me. How do we even start preparing for one? Yes, ma'am. Over to you. That's how we want you to start the session.
All right. Um, Not that everyone has to be a marathoner. Okay. So some form of fitness is what is important and what is required. It could be anything. So it could be a simple walk or yoga or you do anything that you want based on what your interests are to keep you fit. So you need to be fit to enjoy life as it is, right? That's what we have been hearing along the panel. I've been listening from 1:30, and I should say you're a bundle of energy there, keeping people active. And that is your way of keeping yourself entertained or keeping yourself up and engaging with people. That's your way of handling things. So every person has their own way of handling it. And marathon is just one part of it to keep yourself fit. There are many other ways too. Okay. So, all right.
Actually, I mean, the answer I've been looking for, to be very honest. So, ladies and gentlemen, if the
I'm
question, how do
I'm
you
Raja Lakshmi, not Sri
Oh,
Lakshmi. Just
sorry,
call me Raji.
Ma'am. The answer I'm looking for many years. I mean, what an answer for non-marathon lovers like me who start, sweating just thinking about marathon is to enjoy life on our own terms, right, Srinivasan ma'am?
Yes, true. That's how.
Fantastic. What a way of starting a session. Over to you, ma'am. Stage is all yours. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. I just Good afternoon. Happy to be part of this virtual event, and I've been listening from the start of the event and various leaders who have been talking on the different topics, the digital transformation itself. That's the topic of the event itself. I think we are all aware of it, the challenges that we are having. So it's all been discussed. It's not something new that I'm going to talk here. But with respect to the IT and the software field and what is required and what are some of the important challenges that industries or businesses face when they adopt their digital transformation is what something I'll cover as part of this. So I have a quick 15-minute presentation. I know we are already running late, but I can't cut this. Cut this down. So I'll take 15 minutes. So I'll keep it very simple. I know, as the previous speaker Rajesh was saying, it's a what is that afternoon session post lunch. I know people have been joining from different parts of the, not just India. I'm assuming different parts of world too. I've joined from Chennai, so I hear people from Bangalore, Mumbai, Delhi. So it's that's the beauty of doing it virtually. You can talk with people across the globe from the convenience of sitting in your own house, in your own room. So let me, and I'll also touch upon how AI helps, or why you should actually, organizations should leverage AI and automation to some extent. And what they are doing, Mr. Rajesh also covered. I'll be covering with respect to IT field per se. So digital transformation. So digital transformation is, it's not new. So we have been talking about Industry 4.0, and we had a panel on that itself and heard from other speakers too. But this digital transformation, it is a journey. It has been there for almost 16 years ago. 2005, 2006 timeframe is when this started. I'll just give a context of the history of how this started. So it is the Web 2.0 movement per se that contributed to the digital transformation. So Web 2.0, as most of you will be aware of, is where all along the time the web was considered as a medium of only consuming content. So people sit back and watch videos, or people sit back and read the news articles. But with Web 2.0, the web was not just considered a medium of consuming content, it was also considered a medium of contributing content. So people started writing their own blogs and uploading, taking photos and videos and uploading. And that is how, when you do all that, you have the data in the cloud. The cloud itself started picking up then, and you need softwares, you need collaborative, communicative softwares around it. And that is the birth of the digital transformation and the cloud journey. And any industry you take around us, be it retail or media, education, automobile, finance, or the manufacturing, any industry you take around us, it has undergone drastic changes. It's as I said, it's a journey. Some industries are in the transformation path. It's not that everybody has completely gone digital. We still talk about only hybrid mode. It's not that we can take everything to the cloud. There are still some portions which remains on-premise in your own data center too. There are situations like that. There are businesses like that. But pretty much some people are fully on the cloud, some of them on premise. So a mix is available and they are in the different stages. That's why I call this as journey, and IT itself has undergone drastic change. So when you talk about most of the new startups that start today are all picking to start only in the cloud because things are available as a service. So when we talk about cloud, then the cloud architecture is very important. And there are, and before I go to the cloud architecture itself, this digital transformation, this pandemic has only added more to it. We should say in this last almost close to 2 years, this is how it has been. Kids have, at least in India, Chennai per se, kids have not gone to school. They have been doing only online classes. Conferences like this have become virtual meetings. Gyms have all tracked through fitness apps, and most of the shopping is done only online. This is how this pandemic has accelerated, and those industries who are already on the cloud found it easy and they adopted and they started their day-to-day work as it is without any impact. But those industries who did not move to the cloud or who did not adopt digital found it difficult. They have to first move to the digital world and then continue with their business. So today, all that is required is a high-speed internet connection and a mobile phone in your hand. You can do anything and everything from wherever you are in this world. That is how the whole world or the whole industry itself is transforming because of this digital. So when we talk about this digital and cloud adoption, there are various layers for any cloud architecture. So I've just simplified them as 4 important layers with respect to IT. And when you're developing an application, the topmost is your end user layer, which comprises of your browsers, your mobile or your apps and the tablets, using which you connect to the application layer. The application layer is the one where actually the business logic is hosted. As a business owner, your focus is only on this application layer. There are many softwares that are available as a service. That's why it's called software as a service. You can make use of them and use it. Zoom itself, the platform that we are running this, is a software as a service. The event that is being run on Hublot is a software as a service. All these are software as a service, which depends on the next layer, that is platform. The platform layer, the platform as a service, which comprises of your caching servers, your NoSQL databases, queues, microservices, all these are available as service, which you can use from third-party providers who are already providing it. And the bottommost is infrastructure as a service. Your entire infrastructure, from your physical servers to virtual servers to cloud servers to network, router, firewall, load balancer, everything is now available as a service. So all that is required is focusing on your business. And to add on to this today, it is being called as anything as a service or everything as a service. Because if you say it's not just the infrastructure or the platform or software, even the AI, the artificial intelligence, the machine learning, the devices, all these that we are talking of is being now given in the cloud. Machine learning as a service is something that is picking up. You have data and you don't know what algorithms to apply and how to make meaningful insight out of it. There is the service that is picking up where you give the data and it will do all the processing, give you meaningful insight. So this is how the digital transformation has been encroaching in all our lives around us. It is impacting our lives in all the industries or businesses that we use around us. So when such is the case, what are some of the common challenges in moving to the cloud? If you are a business owner and you want to move to the cloud, or if you're already on the cloud, and what are the challenges that you're facing? And I should say, honestly, all the previous speakers, the panel discussions, the fire chat that we have been having, they've covered most of it. But I'll try to put it in a simplified way so that we could recollect when we want to move to the cloud. It's not in any order, and these are only few challenges that I have picked up, which there are many more challenges when you want to move to the cloud. And of the many things, the first thing is using the relevant digital technology. So you want to move to the cloud, but you cannot say that I will stick on with my legacy technology that I'm using. You have to find out, if you have to move to the cloud or if you have to adopt digital transformation, what are the relevant technologies that are available. Possibly you have to make use of some caching algorithm, Elasticsearch as a caching framework. You have to make use of the relevant queue technology so that you can take care of the communication. So if wherever required, using the relevant digital technology is important when you want to move to the cloud. And that is one of the common challenges. Why this is coming as a challenge is because of the complexities and the lack of expertise in the technologies that are available per se. So the deployment, we are talking about serverless architectures, or even though we say that it is all available as a service, but when the infrastructure or platform, when a problem occurs, where do I go and find out where the problem is? Those are the complexities, and to overcome that, you need to have the expertise in how to understand and how to debug them. So that is something that is posing as a challenge. And this is picking up because people are a little bit reluctant to adapt and learn all the newer technologies that are coming and that are picking up. We are kind of, because that's a natural human tendency, we are kind of settled with what we are already aware of. We don't want to come out of our comfort zone, and we are happy with what we are doing. Once we have that feeling, the people have that feeling, it is very difficult to get that expertise, and that's something that the organizations are lacking. The lack of expertise is another challenge. And as I said, learning an adaptive approach for anything that you take. There are going to be newer problems that are going to be coming. There are going to be newer technologies that are going to be coming. The technologies that we are working today did not exist 20 years ago when I started my career as a software developer. So it is important every individual to have that learning and adaptive approach, and that has to be there culturally in an organization. I don't remember the speaker's name. Somebody touched upon this culture aspect as well in the previous talks. So culturally, it's not just the top down, only the top management is focusing on that. It is top down, bottom up. Everybody has to have that learning and adaptive approach, and the organization's culture should support that. Only then any transformation or any movement is possible in an organization. And the other important challenge comes with respect to monitoring this setup. Whatever you are having, you are only focusing on your application, and you are relying on the infrastructure as a service from third-party vendors. Or it may be a case you are moving to the cloud, but you take care of entirely managing your cloud systems too. Depending on your needs, you can have your own cloud platform. It is not necessary that you have to use only some third-party providers. So there are some IT monitoring challenges. And there are many. The three important things that are for an IT monitoring challenge is availability. I'll talk about the other two as well. First primary thing is availability. Being in the cloud, all your systems, your applications, to your servers, to your infrastructure components, all of them have to be up and running. So that is your primary challenge. And the second challenge is, it's not sufficient if they are up and running, they have to have better performance too. If all your systems are up and running, but they are running very, very slow, nobody will have the time or patience to sit through that. So performance is important. And third important is security. Security has been touched upon by everybody else, and that is one other thing that is very crucial. So it is, when you're in the cloud, security is important. So availability, performance, and security are the three important things with challenges with respect to IT monitoring. So these are some of the challenges with respect to IT monitoring, and the other challenges which we talked about, which monitoring tools can help you, and how can you leverage AI ops? How does AI help? Can AI and machine learning help? So to put it in one simple terminologies, as Mr. Rajesh was also talking about, AI is to make it automate, make your life simple, and it can do all the automation. One important thing to keep in mind is the AI is only as good or as bad as how it is being programmed to do. So you have to train it with accurate data points. Only then the system will be able to help you in your day-to-day activities. That is something that we miss, and we expect the AI to function out of its own. So that is something that we have to keep in mind. How can AI and ML help? There are various ways. I'll give some examples with respect to IT, how it can be helpful and why you have to leverage. So based on the humongous data that we are having, you have to evaluate the past data and see whether the current performance is fine. Based on the previous data collection data that you're having, your response time has suddenly spiked. So that is an anomaly. So you need not have to manually configure that. The system must be able to read it automatically and tell you that there is a problem. So that is what it can do by evaluating past performance. Communications, chatbots. whatever tool you're using, you must be able to get all the statuses within that tool. That is one way how AI can help. When managing a flurry of alerts, IT means you get a lot of alerts. So when you have a lot of alerts, you have to segregate the alerts, allocate technician for them. Those are some of the important steps which, if the AI algorithms can learn and do it automatically for you, you are one step closer to resolving the issue, and you can reduce your mean time to repair. So that is one area where AI and ML can help. Data correlation across various tools. IT administrators, whoever are there as part of the event who are listening, you will agree with me that we have to deal with the multiple tools and get all the data and correlate all the data that is there and get meaningful insight out of it. AI can help. And correlating test results. We do have a lot of staging servers and manual testing and pre-production testing. So all those test results have to be correlated, which is an area which AI can help. And exhaustive training, as I said, or based on all these, the system can train itself and it will be able to help with, so that you can prevent false alerts. So these are some examples, and futuristically, AI can help with the accurate anomalies, and it is moving towards an area where be proactive and prevent an event or incident from happening, rather than being reactive and then go and fix it. So that is the area which AI can help, and that's why it's important for you to leverage AI ops in your IT monitoring. So monitoring tools are important. You have to use the right set of tools depending on what your needs are and what your business or who your customers are. So when we talk about the right set of tools, this is one of my favorite quote. We shape our tools and the intern shape us, is a famous quote by Marshall McLuhan. What this means is the tools that you have in your hand has a great impact on your day-to-day activities. If you have a hammer in your hand, everything looks like a nail. That's a screw over there, but you only have a hammer in your hand, so you end up only hitting it. So it is important for you to choose the right set of tools depending on what your business needs are and who your customers are, so that you can take your business to the next level. There are many tools in the market. Site 24/7 is one of them. It's an all-in-one AI-powered monitoring platform. It can do end-to-end monitoring from your website for all the layers that I talked about, your applications to platform to infrastructure components. I've not gone into the details of this. We are available as one of our exhibit here. You can get details there. And on top of it, we do have alerting reporting as part of the product. And Site 24/7 is there in the industry for 15 years. It's a mature product from Zoho Corp. So we are deployed on Zoho. So the breadth of AI works at Zoho. Zoho has a separate labs team which takes care of all these AI activities. That's the R&D division that we work on. Of these various breadth of AI activities, Site 24/7 makes use of forecasting, anomaly behavior, root cause analysis, outage prediction. All these are used by Site 24/7, and we pass on that benefit to our customers too. We are hosted on Zoho's data center. We have 10 different data centers at 5 different regions, and customers can choose their data center so that their data resides within the geographical region of that particular country. We have one in US, one in Europe, one in India, one in China, one in Australia, because being a cloud provider, the security, privacy, and having your data within the geographical boundaries and all very crucial. And we do take care of privacy, security, and compliance very seriously, and get all the certifications that are required to be a SaaS provider. Just take a screen grab of this. We'll also be posting this in the channel, and this is available as part of, even in our booth, as a part of giving back to the community. So I know people might want to try it and see. So if you want to try the product, if you sign up using this URL, this gives you 6 months free subscription. You can just try the product for yourself to check what is available in the product. So this is our booth space where we have in this digital transformation summit. And as Nikita was, I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing the name correctly. So as she was saying, the King, Daniel Caesar Paul, is available there for you to answer any of your questions and take you through the demo if at all required. I will also be there around to answer any of your questions. Thank you for your time. Have a nice time in the event today.
Fantastic session, Rajalakshmi ma'am. I mean, that was absolutely amazing. And apart from the session, right, you have given me a learning of life. And the learning is, Nikita, enjoy things at your own pace. This is that is my takeaway. Of course, the session is something that, of course, I mean, that's a given, but that was the takeaway. And fantastic session, ma'am, of course. And we have to read out amazing compliments to you. We've got Mr. Kishore Mandal, who writes a very informative session. We've got Mr. Harminder Singh, who writes in totally agree with you, Raja Lakshmi. So, Raja Lakshmi, ma'am, fantastic as usual. And very happy to hear that King Daniel is in your team. He's a proud member of your team. Yes, so Ms. Daniel writes in, ladies and gentlemen, just have a look at the chat. Like Rajalakshmi ma'am rightly mentioned, the URL has been pasted there. You can connect with Mr. Daniel. They are giving away to a site 24/7 6-month complimentary subscription worth, wow, $250 for all the participants. And Mr. Avinash writes in, Hail the King. Hail the king and the empress herself, that is Raja Lakshmi ma'am. And we've got Raj Silva Kumar, who writes in good session. We've got Kumara Swami, Krishna Swami writes in excellent session. Himadri Bhattacharya writes in nice session, Miss Raja Lakshmi. I think your day is made, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so very much. Have a fantastic day ahead.